Did you guys see Pete Hegseth? He stood in front of a podium again. The gloves are further and further off.
Our warfighters require the depth of capabilities to deter any aggression and, if necessary, decisively defeat any enemy that dares to challenge America. We're talking here about transformation, not toothless reform, and we're seeking it fast. Now, some will say that any effort to reform the Pentagon bureaucracy is punishment for real or perceived slights. We think that's nonsense. I'm not here to punish, we're here to liberate. I'm not here to reform, but to transform and empower. We mean to save the bureaucracy from itself. Because the chairman and I talk about this all the time. This is a 1939 moment, or hopefully a 1981 moment. A moment of mounting urgency. Enemies gather, threats grow, you feel it, I feel it. If we are going to prevent and avoid war, which is what we all want, we must prepare now.
Isn't it weird how the people who always start wars keep talking about how they're about to be attacked? You know, the people who start major wars and kill people indiscriminately and say that their lives don't matter are always the victims. And specifically there, as this Nazi, Pete Hegseth, talks about a 1939 moment, because, you know, we could be under attack. Hey, do you guys remember what happened in 1939?
On the 1st of September 1939, German forces invaded Poland in a move that was to trigger the Second World War. During the night of the 31st of August, Nazi SS troops dressed themselves in Polish uniforms and staged an attack on the Gleiwitz radio tower in Upper Silesia. This false flag operation was part of a wider series of staged attacks on Germans and German property called Operation Himmler that was designed to make it appear as if Poland was exercising aggression against Germany. Just hours after the Gleiwitz incident, at 4:45 a.m. on the 1st of September, the first of approximately 1.5 million German troops launched their attack on Poland. This led to the encirclement of Polish forces, thanks to coordinated attacks from the north, south, and west.
Pete Hegseth wants this to be America's 1939 moment. You know, that moment when Nazis there had a false flag attack so they could blame Poland for the reasons why they're attacking Poland. Keep that in mind. They blamed and faked an attack from Poland, dressed up in Polish gear, to make it look like they were the victims so that they could be somehow these aggressors that no one was buying that bullshit either. That's kind of why it started World War II. So here's more from the warfighter who's always the victim and wants his own Hitler moment.
We're solving life and death problems for our warfighters. We're not building for peacetime. We are pivoting the Pentagon and our industrial base to a wartime footing. Building for victory should our adversaries FAFO.
If only Adolf Hitler had the term FAFO to toss around, it could be actually exact for what it is that he's talking about. Again, everybody's coming for the United States of America. It's a wartime footing that we have to now transition into, because you never know when somebody's going to attack. I'm sorry, you never know when these guys are going to act like someone is attacking so that they can then say, let's go to war.
That is why today, at my direction, the defense acquisition system, as you know it, is dead. It's now the warfighting acquisitions system. And this isn't just a name change, it's a fundamental shift in how we view and practice acquisition. General Omar Bradley once noted that amateurs talk about tactics, but professionals study logistics, and of course he's right. Wars are won and lost not only by warriors on the battlefield, but by acquisition and industry professionals who shape the fight years before it ever takes place. That's all of us and all of you.
So with their new positioning that they want to take as far as the war acquisitions, a process they want to go into, it'll make them a little bit more lighter on their feet and a lot less transparent. Here's some details in case you guys don't know where this is all transitioning. So Hegseth was speaking to military leaders and defense contractors, you know, those guys who make money off of war. He was speaking to them in Washington and said, the objective is simple: transform the entire acquisition system to operate on a wartime footing to rapidly accelerate the fielding of capabilities and focus on results. That's Pete Hegseth's way of saying, let's get positions where we can do more, killing and running up into countries and invading them. So here's more. The defense secretary argued his changes are meant to move the military away from the more traditional process that prioritized delivering a perfect, if expensive and late, product in favor of something that is less ideal, but delivered quickly. Some experts say that the changes could mean less transparency and the military ending up with systems that may not function as expected. Who cares if the things that you're killing people with don't function as expected? We're killing people who are beneath us. We're going to streamline things, make it less transparent, and then kill more people on the fly and then say that we're doing the right thing because, they were coming to attack us. Hey, here's that drunk ass again.
So to the men and women of this department, both military and civilian who work on acquisition and our industry partners, let me say this: you are not our enemies in this effort, but you are our allies. You are Obi-Wan Kenobi. You are our only hope.
He's got more stupid ass references. Now the acquisitions, folks, are is only hope. You're Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hey, here's more reality. Todd Harrison is a defense budget and acquisition expert at the American Enterprise Institute. And he said that Hegseth's ideas represent a significant shift in how the military would buy arms. But he warned that if contractors aren't incentivized to check all the boxes for everything the military wants in a product, they may deliver something faster, but it may not do what you want it to do. Because, everything around this Pentagon and around this White House, and specifically Pete Hegseth here, has been about inefficiency, destruction, and doing things the wrong way. Maybe they'll do it over a Signal app. Hey, here's the last piece of this. With the changes comes the possibility for greater fraud and abuse. Whereas many of these newer companies, we have very little visibility inside how the company works, who owns what, how they make decisions. It's all very opaque. Just like with these mass deportation policies, just like with everything else they do when they're taking our money and giving it to their buddies and their friends and corporations and companies and leaders of these companies that want to make more money off it and do very little in response or have any kind of responsibility for how they're doing their things, they're going to do it. And we're going to see less and less of accountability behind it. And that also leads back to what is that we saw a month or two ago when this same sorry sumbitch was talking about not letting people see what the Pentagon is doing.
We're setting clear rules at the Pentagon. We're not playing games. We're not allowing everybody to roam around the building. That was the policy before, Peter. If you were a Pentagon reporter, you could just walk around the building. No badge, no escort, no nothing. Walk into offices, talk to anybody. Who knows where there's classified information. We're making the rules more like you might say the White House. Can you roam the White House wherever you want?
Typically not without getting a Secret Service guy up in my grill.
So we're just normalizing it. Yes, you can be in the press area, briefing room, but if you want to move around the building, you're going to have a badge. It's going to be clear. You're going to be escorted when you do so, and we have expectation that you're not soliciting classified or sensitive information. I think the American people see things like that as absolute common sense. The Pentagon press corps can squeal all they want. We're taking these things seriously. They can report. They just need to make sure they're following rules.
Those rules that he wants them to follow are anything I give you is what you can report. You can't have other information. That's why he kicked out the vast majority of journalists and media from the Pentagon, because this is a fascist regime in the White House. Remember that whole 1939 moment? Remember that whole false flag? Here's Rick Scott tying all that together for where it is that we're going to look to invade.
Under the previous administration, when we had the great Vice President Kamala Harris, I think she was the border czar, and she was dealing with all of the root causes in South and Central America, and of course led to the largest invasion of across our open border in history. I think it's interesting because this kind of thing, the way I look at it, is kind of actually dealing with the actual root causes, is it not?
It is the root cause. People bringing drugs in our country by plane, by boat, by walking. And this president has got the guts to stop it. And he's going to stop Maduro. He's already revoked oil licenses that Biden allowed to keep going. He's said these drug cartels are foreign terrorist organizations. And now he's destroying these drug boats. And Maduro's next. And he's also raised the bounty for Maduro from $25 to $50 million. I actually have a bill to take it to $100 million. It's not American money. It's money we've confiscated from Maduro.
Right.
So this president has the guts to do the right thing. It's going to be good for America, all of Latin America.
Sounds like some colonizers to me. Sounds like a failed administration and a failed party that's looking to invade and strip other countries' resources under these false allegations of they're destroying our country. Hey, how about we get our shit together and our people who keep taking in all these drugs? Maybe we find out why so many Americans are addicted to drugs. Maybe we figure out our own problems. Instead, we need to make up new things so that we can go after, as Rick Scott will say, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, because they need to control the hemisphere.
Do you have confidence that that the Trump administration will be able to make some of those alliances with some of these governments to actually take control of our hemisphere?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, the people in whether it's Cuba or Mexico or Venezuela, Nicaragua, Colombia, you know what they want? They want freedom. They want liberty. They want freedom, and they want to live in their homeland. So these dictators in Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, they've taken over these countries. This is going to end. It's going to be better for them, and our whole hemisphere is going to be safer. So I want to thank President Trump. He finally has the guts. I mean, look at this guy. He bombed the hell out of Iran. Nobody else would do that. He's doing this. The right things are happening.
Like colonizers do. Let's take in other folks' resources because we've pissed off all of ours and fed our oligarchs all of that money.